We just had the release weekend of Stellar Crown, and the set is really fun to open. It seems to get a decent amount of pulls in each of the booster box. We'll be going through today the top 10 most expensive cards from Stellar Crown after the release weekend. Now, of course, I expect a lot of prices to continue to fall. That usually happens when a new set comes out, but you do get the odd card now and again which does do the opposite and starts climbing. So today we're looking at TCG Play at the top 10 most expensive cards after the release weekend of Stellar Crown. Who's going to be the top dog or turtle? Let's get into it. In number 10, we have the Area 0 Underdepths. This is an interesting one. This is a gold card. You don't normally see gold trainer cards hold much value unless they're a really good playable card. We've seen that with the Earthen Vessel, Buddy Poffin. They do very, very well because, well, they're playable cards and it keeps the price high. This card right now is going for $20, but the thing is, it's dropped 56% since the release of the set. Literally, its release window, pre-order prices, everything like that. This card is falling like crazy. I probably expect it to fall even more. I don't know whether or not this is going to be a playable card. We'll have to wait and see. If it is a playable card, then it might start to hold its price and bounce back up a little bit. But as a rule, gold trainer cards tend not to do the best. Like I say, unless they're playable, like the Earthen Vessel and the Buddy Poffin, they tend not to do very well. And this one already is not doing very well, dropping 56% already. I expect it to fall even more, maybe see around $10 card. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, it was coming in at a really hefty price of $47. Has fallen. I mean, we look at the recent sale prices. You can see this card selling for $17 of the low sale price. And you had a high price at $50. That's probably where it started off at. And look where it lies now. I do expect it to fall even more. Gold cards are not the easiest to pull in a lot of the Scarlet and Violet era sets as well. So that does play a part. But I think this one will probably fall out of the top 10 spot real soon. Next up, we got the Terapagos EX. This is the gold card, right? This is the gold version of the turtle coming in. Again, another gold card in the top 10. Not too bad, actually. I mean, I think the Pokemon ones might hold a little bit more value than the trainer, but we'll have to wait and see. $23 right now. This card has dropped 40%, which is just crazy, right? It really is crazy how much this has dropped from the pre-order prices. We just saw a card drop by 50%. Now we're seeing one by 40%. You can see with the average sales, you're looking around about $21. The highest was at 40, but the lowest was at 21. So it's interesting to see. Again, a gold card. I don't see the gold cards hold very well. The only gold card that we seen, like the Pokemon like this crystallized version, was the Charizard from Obsidian Flames. That one did hold a pretty good price tag because it was a playable card, right? But the thing is, this, I have to wait and see. If it's a playable card, then this might hold some of its value and probably stay within the top 10. But I do expect it to fall under $20 over the next couple of days or even weeks. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's not the best. Then number 8, we got my boy Dachsbun coming in the SIR. This is my chase card in the set. Absolutely stunning. This card has been falling though. It has been falling. We're looking at $24 for the doggo. It did actually go up from its pre-order prices. It did actually go up a little bit from like $30 to $34, $35, and then has dropped about 20% since its release, which is, to be expected with a lot of the sets. When they come out, they do, kind of fall unless they're playable cards. We've seen a lot of strong playable cards in recent sets like Temporal Forces and Paradox Rift and stuff like that. So it'd be really interesting to see where the doggo lies. I mean, apart from on the table with all the food. This is my chase card. I don't mind it dropping in value because it makes it cheaper and easier for me to pick up. So I'll be pretty happy with that. Yeah, $24. I mean, we even had some recently, I say recently, but they are pretty recent. Sold price at $18 at the low end and $40 at the high end. So I probably would expect this drop below $20, which is fine for me. I can pick up some more at a cheaper price, but it's such a beautiful card. Moving on, we got another special illustration rare in the Briar. I'm kind of glad that some of the full art trainers are falling in price, to be honest. This one's dropped 41%. So we saw the doggo already drop 20%. This one's dropped 41%, reaching $27. With the lower sold price at $25, with a high sold price of $51. I think the 51 was pretty much near when it came out, or pre-order prices. So yeah, it has fallen. I expect it to fall even more. Maybe below $20, around $20. I'm not a fan of full art trainers, especially being the top chase cards in the set. I'm hoping the doggo would overtake this. Maybe it will. Time will tell. But But yeah, not a huge fan. I haven't really played the game, so I don't really know that, how relevant this character is. I don't think it will do very well in the future, so expect this one to probably fall below $20. Next up, we got the Bulbasaur. In my opinion, I think this is one of the biggest chase cards in the set, and I expect it to go up over time. We've been seeing a lot of strong performing illustration rares across multiple Scarlet and Violet era sets, and for me, I think, like, obviously, Gen 1, Star Nostalgia, this, the Squirtle, and of course Charmander from Obsidian Flames, the ETB promo has been doing very well as well. It's really interesting to see how well this will do. So this one's at $31. It has dropped 42% though already. So it was over $50. That's quite a big drop, in all honesty. That is quite a big drop. I've been seeing it sell over here in the UK like already for around about £25-30. I expect that to fall as well. And I said, look, it'll go up, and I think it will. I think it will fall. It will settle a little bit, and then it will start to climb up. Of course, we'll be taking a look at pull rates in tomorrow's video, so we see what's been going on. Hopefully, we've got some pull rate there for that. But right now, Bulbasaur has fallen. We've been seeing the Bulbasaur 151 go up in value. It did fall quite a bit when it came out, and it stayed quite steady, and that's on the uptick. I think this one will be. It's going to be an interesting one. I mean, it's a durable one, and I think it will be, in the top 5 most expensive cards in the set. I think the Squirtle is more popular and probably worth a bit more than the Bulbasaur, but it's nice to see Bulbasaur get some love. We've seen the lowest prices sell at $25, high price of $50, so $50 would have been probably the pre-order prices. $25, like I say, this might even drop potentially $20-$25, and then after time will trickle back up. Into the top 5 now, we got the Galvantula, the big colourful spider coming in as the SIR. I'm not a huge fan of spiders, but I do like the artwork of this. It does look very nice and vibrant. This one has dropped 31%. Things are going crazy. This stuff is dropping like just madness. So we're looking at $35 right now, which is actually a pretty decent price. Like $35 is like good value, right? It's still doing pretty well. I mean, it has fallen from 52, so it has fallen quite a bit. I mean, I'm sorry, the highest sold was 55, lowest sold was 30. Who knows? This could be a $25 to $30 card in the future. I expect it to continue to fall. Again, all depends on what the pull rates are like from this set. It is a smaller set as well compared to the sets we've had recently, so it'll be interesting to see how well a lot of these SIRs will hold in the future. But it is a nice card, it is very colourful, and maybe it might just hold a little bit longer. Next up, we got the Hydrapple SIR coming in. This one always reminds me of like Godzilla, when like they got the markings on the wall. This is what it reminds me of. $44 for this one. It doesn't actually say how much it's actually fallen, if it's even fallen at all. But as we can see from the prices here, we had one sold for $52 and the lowest was $36. So I would say it's fallen by a little bit, not quite as much as some of the others. I think this one will hold relatively well. It's a really cool, unique artwork. I really do like it. I think it will probably sit around that maybe $30 range, $35. I do expect it to fall. It's already, lowest sold $35. So maybe we can move the needle a little bit lower and expect it to be at that $35-ish range on average. We'll have to wait and see, but I like the artwork. I think it's pretty cool. In number 3, we've got the Squirtle. So we saw the Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur had fallen quite a bit, and I do expect the Bulbasaur to bounce back. But the Squirtle, let's see how well the Squirtle's been doing. So the Squirtle's been falling as well. $41, has dropped 20% for its pre-order prices. So it was pretty much the same price as the Bulbasaur, but the Bulbasaur has dropped more. Squirtle, however, holding pretty strong, I think, for an illustration rare at $40 is very impressive. Top end sold for $55, bottom end sold for $36. This one, in my opinion, will bounce back. I think top 3 cards in the set looks pretty reasonable. I think it'll probably be the second most expensive card in the set. Because number 2 on this list, I think, will continue to fall. And I think Squirtle will overtake it. And I also think the Bulbasaur will climb as well. I put Squirtle and Bulbasaur at really good cards that I think will go up over time. So, when these prices keep falling, there may become a time real soon, I think, where people just offloading these and to pick them up for a really, really good price, because it is such an amazing card. In number 2, we have Lacey, Full Art Trainer, SIR. Not a huge fan, right? Again, not a huge fan of the trainer cards being very good and very high. I want it to be a Pokemon. This card has dropped 55%. It's at $51, where the highest sold price was $125. Imagine paying that. That's crazy. The lowest sold price is $5. I have no idea what went on there. You probably find that they sold the other version of Lacey. But even so, right, this card has been falling. I've been looking at other places as well at card prices rather than just TCG Player. And yeah, you're looking around about $50 to $60 for this card. So it has fallen even, you know, on the open market, non TCG Player. This card has been falling quite a bit. I do expect it to fall lower. I do expect the Squirtle to overtake this card. You know, when I saw the set, I thought this would be in the top 2, top 3 cards of the set. And it is upon release, and I do expect it to fall. That was my prediction. I think I remember saying the Squirtle will probably overtake this anyway. But I think, for me, I think people are just moving away a little bit from these full art trainers. I mean, the Carmine's done pretty well from Twilight Masquerade. Iona's done pretty well. But that's about it. So I think Lacey will fall. And then taking the top spot is the Rainbow Crystal Turtle, the Terapagos EX coming in. This one is pretty impressive. Beautiful card, by the way. Really, really stunning. Let's take a look. $123. So big gap between this and Lacey and all the other cards in the set. So it's dropped a bit. It's dropped 16% from the highs of, well, highest sold 172, lowest 105. This is an interesting one. It's not a Greninja, right? Because it's a new Pokemon. It's not like a fan favorite. Greninja is a big fan favorite. We'll have to see what the pull rates are like for this set and for this card to see if it's going to be as tough as the Greninja or you know, around that level. If it isn't as tough as a Greninja, this has no hope of reaching that level, right? This is probably an maybe $70 to $80 card, in my opinion. I think it will continue to fall. But I think this will probably sit around $70 to $80 over time. Would the Squirtle overtake it? I mean, probably not. But then saying that, I wouldn't have thought the Magikarp would vastly overtake the Iono, which it did. So, who knows? But I think right now, when people open up this set, I think this will continue to fall. I mean, already it's dropped from 172 to a lower sold of 105. So, I think it'll break $100 or under $100, sorry, over the next few days. And will continue to fall. It could bounce back, of course, you know, if the pull rates are tough and, you know, not a lot of them are hitting the market. But right now, I think this card, you're probably looking at in the future. My prediction, between a $70 to $80 card. But it'll be interesting to see in the future, in the next few months, really, of where this card will go. So there you have it, guys. Those are the top 10 most expensive cards after the release weekend on Stellar Crown. I like the set. I do. I mean, the Dachsbun's really cool. There's some beautiful illustration rares. Not a lot of them are worth a ton of value. You know, we've been used to seeing quite a lot of illustration rares hold good money. I mean, Bulbasaur, Squirtle's doing really well. But a lot of the other illustration rares in the set are under $10. So you're looking kind of on that, like, Obsidian Flames level, which is like, ooh, you know, can be quite tough. Then we have seen some illustration rares from other sets, you know, do a really good bounce back. We saw it in Paradox Rift, we saw it in Temporal Forces. So, you know, they have that potential, of course. But right now, I think this is kind of a middle of the road set. You know, I think we're looking at a, you know, Paradox Rift Temporal Forces side of things rather than a Twilight Masquerade and a Paldea Evolved. Twilight Masquerade and Paldea Evolved are just crushing things across the board right now. Whereas like Paradox Rift and Temporal, in my opinion, are both incredible sets and will do very well in the future. I think Stellar Crown, because it is still a slightly smaller set, so it might be a little bit easier to get some of the top end cards, just kind of fits right in the middle amongst those two as well. I wouldn't say it's as bad as Obsidian Flames or anything, even though that is a much smaller set as well. So time will tell with this set. Right now, there's some beautiful cards. You'll have fun opening it. We opened it up on the weekend. We didn't put anything super duper crazy, but a decent amount of hits in booster boxes seems to be the trend right now, which is good. You know, I like to see volume of hits. I like to see a little bit tougher pull rates when it comes to the chase cards, but overall, it seems pretty good fun to me. If you made this fun of the video and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button, make sure to subscribe for more Pokemon content, and let me know your thoughts in the comments about these top 10 most expensive cards and about the set as a whole. You know, I think right now, I think it's a good set to invest, get a few booster boxes while they're cheap, and on top of that, I think the cards will continue to fall over the next coming weeks, depending on what the pull rates are like. But that'll be tomorrow's video. We'll be going through the pull rates, which will make or break the set, really, in my opinion. But if you want to watch more Pokemon content, make sure to click the video on the screen, and of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But that is it from me, guys, in today's video. As always, you guys are the legends. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.